Has your heart ever raced watching a single pivotal moment unfold, knowing instantly that it wasn't just an event, but a seismic tremor about to send shockwaves across the entire landscape of professional basketball? Because in the high-stakes, relentless chess match of the NBA, one team's massive, unwavering commitment to a young star has just fired the starting gun for a frantic, league-wide scramble, potentially unlocking a treasure trove of championship-defining talent for a team already on the precipice of greatness. Are we truly on the verge of witnessing the Boston Celtics make their next audacious championship-defining move? All thanks to a contract signed hundreds of miles away, in a city grappling with its own identity. Welcome back to the channel, where we relentlessly break down the strategic maneuvers, the hidden opportunities, and the unspoken declarations that define the NBA's relentless pursuit of glory. Today, we're dissecting a truly fascinating development, one that on the surface seems entirely unrelated to the reigning Eastern Conference champions, yet could very well dictate their next pivotal roster move, their next step towards cementing a dynasty. The Chicago Bulls, a storied franchise that has for too long grappled with its own identity, has just made a monumental financial commitment to Josh Giddey, signing him to a staggering 4-year, $100 million extension. This isn't merely a contract, it's a thunderous declaration, a definitive statement etched in ink and dollars. And in the intricate, often brutal world of NBA team building, one such declaration often creates an immediate vacuum, a strategic opening that only the most astute and savvy teams like the Boston Celtics are perfectly poised to exploit. For months, the basketball world has been a swirling vortex of speculation regarding the future direction of the Chicago Bulls. Were they rebuilding from the ground up? Were they merely retooling around their existing core? Or were they, against all odds, still clinging to the hope of contending? The waters were murky, the path forward obscured by a fog of indecision. But with Shams Charania of ESPN breaking the news of Josh Giddey's substantial 4-year, $100 million extension, that fog has begun to lift, revealing a clear, albeit challenging direction. This is no minor investment, no tentative gesture. It's a clear, unequivocal statement from the Bulls' front office. Josh Giddey is a cornerstone. He is the player they intend to build around for the foreseeable future, a dynamic playmaker with exceptional court vision, a unique skill set, and the raw potential they hope will be the undisputed engine of their offense. However, this profound commitment comes with a significant caveat, a strategic tightrope walk that could directly and dramatically benefit other teams across the league. Handing Giddy an average of $25 million per season is a hefty sum, a substantial wager, especially for a team that has struggled to find consistent, meaningful success. But the true intrigue, the real strategic chess move, lies in the immediate financial and roster implications this extension creates for the Bulls' other key players. Nikola Vucevic, Coby White, and Ayo Dosunmu are all currently entering the final year of their respective contracts. This isn't merely a coincidence, it's a ticking clock, a countdown to critical decisions. With Giddy now locked into a long-term deal, the Bulls are forced to make incredibly difficult choices about their supporting cast. Do they possess the financial flexibility, and more importantly the strategic desire, to re-sign all 3 of these valuable assets? Or, as is far more likely in the cutthroat business of the NBA, will they look to move one or more of these players rather than risk losing them for absolutely nothing in free agency? This isn't just about money. It's about fit, about building a cohesive championship-caliber unit around their newly anointed star. For the Bulls, this is a moment of truth, a fork in the road that will define their trajectory for years to come. And for the Boston Celtics, it's a siren call, signaling a potential opportunity to solidify their championship aspirations and perhaps even elevate them to an unassailable level. Now let's turn our gaze to the reigning Eastern Conference champions, the Boston Celtics. Even a team as dominant as the Celtics, with their star power, their deep roster, and their seemingly endless supply of talent, is constantly looking for ways to optimize, to find that marginal gain, that fractional advantage that truly separates contenders from undisputed champions. Their current roster, while undeniably formidable, has one area that could still benefit from a significant upgrade: the center position. While Nimia's Quetta has shown flashes of tantalizing potential, the team's reliance on him to fully pan out is a calculated risk, a gamble in a league where certainty is king. Adding a proven quality center to the mix would not only provide crucial depth and veteran savvy, but also elevate their defensive ceiling and rebounding prowess, especially when facing the league's elite bigs in the crucible of the playoffs. This isn't a glaring weakness, not a gaping hole, but in the relentless, unforgiving pursuit of a title, every single advantage counts. Every marginal gain is a victory. The Celtics, however, don't possess a treasure chest overflowing with readily available high-value trade assets that would immediately pique the Bulls' interest. Or do they? Enter Anthony Simons. On paper, Simons is a supremely talented guard, capable of explosive scoring and dynamic playmaking. But in Boston, his fit isn't as clear-cut, as seamless as it might be elsewhere. The Celtics already boast a strong, established backcourt rotation, and Simons' defensive profile might not align perfectly with their championship-level standards, their suffocating defensive identity. Furthermore, with Peyton Pritchard already in the mix, the Celtics need to carefully consider their long-term investment at the guard position. Do they truly view Simons as a part of their future beyond this season? The answer to that critical question could be the very key that unlocks a potential blockbuster deal with Chicago. While the Bulls' backcourt is currently crowded with Giddy, White Dosunmu, and Trey Jones, Simons' ability to play off-ball and his undeniable scoring punch could still hold immense appeal, especially if Chicago is strategically looking to reshape its guard rotation to create a new dynamic. This isn't necessarily about a direct, immediate positional need for the Bulls, but rather about acquiring a valuable asset, a piece that could be part of a larger, more comprehensive strategic realignment for their franchise. This brings us to the truly tantalizing trade scenarios that could soon unfold, a high-stakes negotiation where both teams are looking to maximize their return, to extract every ounce of value from the situation. The most obvious and perhaps most impactful target for the Celtics from Chicago's expiring contracts is undoubtedly Nikola Vucevic. Imagine, for a moment, the profound impact of an Anthony Simons for Vucevic trade. For Boston, Vucevic immediately fills their pressing need for a quality, veteran center. He's a proven scorer, a dominant rebounder, and a veteran presence who can consistently stretch the floor, providing invaluable spacing for their superstar duo of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. His extensive experience in high-pressure situations, in the crucible of playoff basketball, would be absolutely invaluable, and he offers a significant, undeniable upgrade over their existing options. This move would unequivocally solidify the Celtics' frontcourt, making them even more formidable, even more terrifying on both ends of the court. For the Bulls, acquiring Simons would be a clear move for the future, a bet on untapped potential. While their backcourt is currently crowded, if they are truly committed to Giddy as their primary playmaker, they might be more than willing to move one or more of their other guards. Simons, with his dynamic scoring ability, could provide a different explosive dynamic alongside Giddy, potentially as a primary scorer off the bench, or even as a complementary starter if other guards are moved. The challenge for Chicago would undoubtedly be integrating Simons into an already guard-heavy rotation, but his sheer talent is undeniable a raw offensive force. The ultimate success of this trade for Boston would hinge entirely on their assessment of Simons' long-term fit within their championship core and their willingness to invest further in Peyton Pritchard. If Simons isn't seen as a core, indispensable piece of their future, then leveraging him for an immediate, impactful upgrade at center like Vucevic becomes an absolute no-brainer, a strategic masterstroke. But what if Vucevic isn't the target, or if the asking price proves to be too exorbitant? Another intriguing option for the Celtics could be Dosunmu. While not possessing the offensive firepower or the star appeal of Simons, Dosunmu is a quality, tenacious defender who can guard multiple positions with intensity and effectiveness, a trait highly valued and deeply embedded in Boston's defensive-minded system. He's a relentless competitor, a spark plug, and his versatility would make him an excellent, seamless fit for the Celtics bench, providing immediate energy and defensive intensity. In the long term, Dosunmu might actually prove to be a better, more organic fit for Boston's system, offering a more defensively oriented guard option compared to the offensive-minded Simons. The plot thickens even further if the Bulls decide to part ways with Coby White. If White is traded, then a package involving Dosunmu for Simons could become even more appealing to Chicago. In this scenario, the Bulls would be acquiring Simons to replace some of White's offensive production, while still having Giddy firmly established as their primary playmaker. This would allow them to maintain a crucial scoring punch at the guard position while strategically reshaping their roster around their newly committed star. This isn't just a simple player-for-player swap, it's a multi-layered, intricate strategic dance, a high-stakes poker game with each move influencing the next, and the Giddy extension serving as the initial explosive spark. Regardless of the specific players involved, the overarching message is crystal clear. The Chicago Bulls' decision to ink Josh Giddey to a new, substantial contract extension has profound, far-reaching implications that extend far beyond their immediate roster. It signifies a definitive, unwavering commitment to a future, with him firmly at the helm. And with that commitment comes the inevitable, often painful, need to make tough choices about who else truly fits into that meticulously planned future. The expiring contracts of Vucevic, White, and Dosunmu are no longer just expiring contracts. They are now potential trade chips, valuable assets that the Bulls must either re-sign, extend, or strategically move to avoid the catastrophic scenario of losing them for absolutely nothing. This dynamic situation creates a vibrant, unpredictable marketplace, and the Boston Celtics, with their championship window wide open and their hunger for glory insatiable, are perfectly positioned to capitalize. They have a clear, undeniable need at center and a valuable asset in Anthony Simons, who, while immensely talented, might simply be more valuable to another team, a better fit elsewhere. The intertwining narratives of a team committing to its future and a contender looking for that final, elusive piece make for compelling, must-watch basketball theater. Chicago is, in essence, open for business, and the Celtics are undoubtedly watching, strategizing, and preparing to make a move that could very well determine their ultimate destiny this season. The chess pieces are set, the board is in play, and the next big move, the next seismic shift, could be just around the corner, ready to redefine the landscape of the NBA. So, what do you think, basketball strategists? Which Bulls player do you believe the Celtics should target with laser-like focus? And what would be your ideal championship-altering trade package? Do you see Anthony Simons as the undeniable key to unlocking a deal, or do the Celtics possess other assets they should leverage in this high-stakes negotiation? Share your insights, your boldest trade proposals, and your most daring predictions in the comment section below. We absolutely love hearing your takes on these critical, high-stakes decisions that shape the league. And if you're as fascinated by the strategic intricacies of the NBA as we are, make sure to hit that like button with conviction and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth analysis and exclusive reports that keep you not just informed, but truly at the forefront of the game.